That's the important thing. We're becoming sensitive to what we're feeling. And that's one of the biggest problems we have, is that we don't take notice of the small things that are happening around us, what our senses are telling us. Now, we see the world that we live in through our senses. We're taking things in all the time from all of our senses. Now, the one I want to focus on is the sense of touch. Because when we go into the natural world, and it's fantastic, you know, all the different textures, the feelings, the air, everything that's around us. If we can attach to our sense of touch, we become more present in the world that we're in. So we see this in things like Reiki and things like that with Biosen, which is the sensing energy or the energy field. Now, whether it's the energy field, I'm not going to go into that. You know, we have electricity in the body, so it could be an electric field. We have magnetism, so it could be the magnetic field. Whatever you want to think it is, doesn't matter. It's about sensitivity and us becoming more sensitive to something that we don't usually take any notice of. And that's one of the biggest problems we have, is that we don't take notice of the small things that are happening around us, what our senses are telling us. Because we're very visual creatures, our eyes use a lot of our brain power. So sometimes doing these things with your eyes closed can really help, because then we can focus more on the other senses. So the one we're going to look at is one that you may have seen before, which is just feeling the magnetism or the electricity or whatever it is between the hands. The easiest way to do this is to start, just get yourself nice and relaxed, and then bring your hands. Some people rub the hands, get the hands nice and warm, get the blood flowing, and then bring your hands out about shoulder width, and then just pulse them in like this. And all we're going to do is we're just looking for the sensations between the hands. We just pulse in. You might not feel anything. You might find this really hard. You know, you might pulse in, you might feel so the kind of things people feel are cold or tingling or pressure between the hands. Again, this, you know, if you think of the pressure, it could well be magnetism that we're feeling. But we're becoming sensitive to it. That's the important thing. We're becoming sensitive to what we're feeling. And this means we're more present in the world. So we just pulse in, and sometimes you'll get to a point where you go, right, well, that's quite like I'm holding something, like a squishy ball. That's great. Yeah, so that's the first thing we do. If you don't feel anything, come back out, just start again. Start again, just keep pulsing in until you feel something. And again, all we're after is building up that sensitivity to our feelings. Now, you can move on from here, you can breathe. So as you breathe in, breathe out, does the sensation between your hands change? You can breathe in and breathe out and see what changes. Yeah, again, we're building that sensitivity to change and things like that. Another exercise we can do, we can just bring the hands and move it over the arm. So now what we're after in both respects is one, we're seeing what sensations we feel in the hand. Does it change? So this is very much like Biosen in Reiki, where we're seeing if there's any changes in the field around the body. Or you could be seeing what you feel on the arm that you're moving over. You know, what do you sense? What do you feel? You can also do this with one finger and draw circles. Close your eyes, draw circles, see what you feel. Do you feel anything? You know, again, you might find this really hard. Persevere with it, because it is just practice. The same as anything else, we're just developing our sense of touch and what we sense beyond just a physical touch. So it's a bit like our sense of taste. You know, if you're someone that likes food and you understand food well, then your sense of taste will become better because you're tasting food all the time. You'll taste the subtle differences in things. Unlike someone like me, that I'll eat things and I don't get the subtleties because I'm not that interested in it, and I don't practice it, and I don't look for it. And that's the important thing. If we start to look for something, we start to notice. But we've also got to question ourselves and go, right, is that real? Is that something I'm noticing, or is that just my mind playing tricks? Is that me wanting it too much? So you've got to be honest with yourself. And so really It's just time will be your friend with this. So how do we use these kind of skills when we go out into the natural world? Well, I use it all the time, and I noticed this a lot, particularly when I touch the ground. So if I'm stretching and I'm touching the ground, there's a different feel to it now. Now, obviously, the earth has electricity and magnetism. And so, maybe we're feeling that. It makes you more sensitive. You can touch trees. Things become more alive when you touch them. Anything you touch, you can then go into a meditation with it. That how does that feel? What does it feel? How does it make you feel? And because you're more sensitive to it, then it becomes more interesting. You become more alive. You become more present in the world that we belong in. And again, if you've got pets, if you've got animals, exactly the same. You can be more attached to people. You can be more attached to animals. You can be more attached to the natural world and the world we live in. So there you go. So there is just some ways to start developing your sense of touch. Just work with it, take your time, and then go out and practice it in the natural world.